What is good, internet? It is Spirit of Paradox here, and welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be breaking down Ultimate Spider-Man issue number 2. And I really enjoyed this issue, man. We got to see the new suit and we got to see the new Shocker as well. But if you guys are fans of the Ultimate Universe, this is the channel you want to be on. I cover the both old and the new one. And I'm also a toy collector. I do other things on Marvel films and DC, video games and whatnot. So, let's start. 20 years ago, the Maker prevented a radioactive spider from biting a young Peter Parker. He likewise prevented the creation of many other superheroes and formed a secret council to rule the world from the shadows. In a quest to free the world from the Maker's council, Tony Stark sent Peter, now a married father of two, a package containing the same radioactive spider and a Pictotech suit. After watching his Uncle Ben Parker and mentor Jane Jonah Jameson leave the Daily Bugle, pressure from the Bugle's owner, Wilson Fisk, to control the news cycle, Peter felt to action and let the spider bite him. We begin in February in New York City. We see the Statue of Liberty, we see the Chrysler Building, and we see the new Ultimate Spider-Man out for a swing in his new suit. In the next page, we go to Richard and May having a debate on whether this new Spider-Man is real or not. Richard thinks it isn't, and May thinks it is real, and she asks her father, what does he think? Well, I remember when you used to think unicorns were real, and she says to him, unicorns are real. Right, exactly. So why do you care what he thinks? Because this guy is scary and I don't like it. Oh, well, in that case, I'd trust your brother, kiddo. He's pretty smart. I'm sure it's nothing to be scared of. And then we see Mary Jane walk into the room and asks, what are you scared of? Photoshop. Tell me about it. After the Parker family have some time together, Mary Jane starts to head out and tells them that the babysitter will be there in an hour, but could be longer. And right before she leaves, she has a brief conversation with Peter, and he tells her like good luck and that, and she says, hey Peter, and he's like, yeah? Have you been working out? And he's like, yeah, maybe a little. And we all know why, it's because of the spider bite. But I don't think he's going to tell her anytime soon about that. And next we go to Spider-Man out having a swing, and is actually having an inner monologue. I don't want to be dramatic or anything, but over the past few weeks, I've changed a lot. Along with an increased appetite, seriously, I'm eating like 10,000 calories a day, and a decreased need for sleep, I've become, and I honestly don't know how to describe it beyond, well, being sticky. And that's not all. I'm strong, really strong. I'm super agile, my reaction times and my understanding of spatial awareness are off the charts. But I do have one problem. And then we see Ultimate Spider-Man crash into a water tower and says, after 2 weeks of practice, I'm still not great at stopping. Which does have a little something to do with my final change I've realized about myself. I can take a beating, a serious beating, and it could come in handy as he looks at the city. In the next page we go to Ben and Jonah having a sauna, and they're having a conversation, and this conversation is actually quite funny, folks. You want to hear something crazy, Ben? I was thinking about it, and I've had a cup of coffee for breakfast every day for the past, has to be 25 years? Yeah? Yeah. No apple juice? Sure, because you're not 5. No orange juice, no plain glass of water, nothing to eat, just coffee, for 25 years. Do you think it's possible there is any chance that's bad for me? If I say yes, are you going to stop? Of course not. Then no, Jonah, I don't think it's bad for you. I knew it. As they both have a little chuckle. That's a good one dear Hickman. So, Ben asks, or says, I've got something. Yeah? There was another attempt on Fisk last night. Go on. This time it was from inside the building. They say that place is like a black hole. Nothing escapes it. No light, no sound. Yeah? So, how do you manage to hear about it? Big explosions, building codes, someone inside there lost their nerve and hit the panic button, whatever. A call went out and the cops showed up. One of the first responders owed me a favor. Oh? I do love it when people owe us a favor, says Jonah. This security ended up keeping the police away from the actual scene, but they did get into the building and got a look at the security footage. So there's 3 attempts in 3 weeks? That we know of. And it's the same guy. Unless there is more of a lunatic flying around in green armor, blowing stuff up. Yeah, same guy. Well, that's a serious determination. Or a serious vendetta. Think we're gonna read about it in the Bugle? You mean, will the dirty money behind the paper let the paper do a story about the dirty going-ons of the said money? I tell you, Ben, I'm shocked. Shocked to report there's no reporting going on here. Did you see what they did run today? Asks Ben. Yeah. Weirdo in a black suit swinging through the city? Yeah, I saw it. Hell of a picture by Peter, by the way. And Jonah asks Ben, so why didn't he give it to us? Because technically, we're not open yet. There's also the small matter of him working for us. And he never will if he keeps that up, says Jonah. So, we got 2 guys in masks and no one knows who they are. One gets the front page, the other gets buried. That's right. One's a distraction, the other's the story. And they both look at each other and Ben asks, "Wanna get to work?" Yes, I do. We still need a name, by the way. I know. I'm working on it. Then the next page we go back to Spider-Man. So here's the existential question. If the life you had was stolen from you 20 years ago was suddenly given back to you, are you obligated to try and relive some version of it? Because if you feel like you had to relive that life, wouldn't you just be 20 years behind the curve forever or something like that? I mean, I'm a smart guy, but I have no idea what I'm supposed to do now. The world is different. I'm different. And then we see him trying to stick the landing and just manages to, quite nicely. And says, only if there was a sign. And then he notices something off in the distance. And then we find out it's Ultimate Shocker trying to break into some building with his blasters. And then we see Spider-Man creeps up behind him and asks, let me guess, you lost your keys? Oh? Got accidentally locked on the roof? Or are you trying to break into the bank below? And Ultimate Shocker's like, what are you supposed to be? And Spider-Man's like, well, that's amazing you ask me that. because I was just having the same discussion with myself. What? You know what I'm supposed to be? I'll admit I'm struggling with it, but, well, I saw what you were doing, and I'm supposed to be the guy who stops people like you? And then Shocker asks him, ever done anything like this before? And Spider-Man tells him, no, first time. Well, you're a natural at it. And then Spider-Man says thanks. You're welcome. So, I guess I'll go home. Clearly whatever I had planned was wrong, and I would like to thank you for stopping me before I did something I regret. Wait, seriously? Yes, seriously. I didn't want to do this. I'm just desperate. But there's always another way, right? So, I want to thank you for what you done today, for stopping me. I owe you. Sure, anytime, mister. And absolutely no one saw this coming. He straight up shocks Spider-Man and says, just call me the Shocker. As we see Spider-Man go flying off the building, down into the alleyway, and straight into the gutter. Later, Peter manages to get back to his apartment, and then he says, I can't believe I fell for that. Let's be friends. Idiot. As we see him, he goes straight into the freezer and gets himself some vanilla ice cream, and then goes into the living room on the couch and then starts eating. But then he was detected. Then we find out it was May Parker who discovered her dad is Spider-Man, and then she begins to cry, and Spider-Man says, oh boy. As his mask starts to dissolve, he says to his daughter, May, oh God, shh, it's me. It's okay, it's Dad. And then she says, Dad? Yeah. Dad? Shh. Yes, it's me, May. Why are you dressed like that guy? What if I told you he dresses like me? What? I am that guy, May. I got bit by a special spider and it gave me powers. You got bit by a magic spider? Sure. And he gives his daughter a hug and says, which is why you never have to be afraid of him. The costume. Me. I'm sorry I scared you. Come here. Are you still crying? No. You smell bad. That's because I was in a dumpster. Mum's gonna be mad. Yeah, I'm gonna take a shower. That's not what I mean. I know I'd planned on telling her, but just not yet. What do you say? Wait and tell her and Richard later? For now, just for a little while, it's best we keep this a little secret. Deal? Maybe. Can I bribe you with some ice cream? Yes, but Dad? Yeah? I still don't like the costume. Maybe we can do something about that too. In the next page, we go to Captain Britain and Wilson Fisk, and Captain Britain asks, what is this? A distraction, Monsieur Britain. And what exactly do you need that for? I'm currently under siege by some mask-wearing vigilante. It has been very public and very loud. It serves us to eclipse that noise with even a louder one. So, I'm giving the people a better story to follow. Oh, no. That's not the game being played, Mr. Fisk. The game being played is, give them nothing and make them like it. And Captain Britain tries to put Wilson Fisk in his place, but we all know who Wilson Fisk is, and we all know this ain't gonna be this way for very long. And for what serves us, you serve us, myself and my fellow partners. We have divided this world amongst us, and after that, we divided it further and gifted people like you your little kingdoms. And so, you get to play king, Mr. Fisk, as long as you can hold on to your kingdom. And Fisk claps back with this. This is not some normal man who plays by the rules. He is powerful, maybe more powerful than you imagined. But not me. I see the full measure of my land and the full measure of my enemies at my walls, because I do not play king. I am one. Then, act like it. You have been given great resources. I suggest you use them. Next we go back to Spider-Man, and quickly he texts someone on the phone as he goes out for another swing, but then he discovers Ultimate Shocker again. We see Shocker breaking into this bank vault and walking out with a bag of cash. Bingo! But then we notice Spider-Man's there, and he says, "Hey there, fancy us running into each other again?" Yeah, how's that? You know, what they call something that someone does at the same time every single day, right? A habit. And you got some bad habits, mister. Well, yeah, who doesn't? As we see Shocker shake the ground with his blasters, but Spider-Man dodges. Good try, as we see Spider-Man using his web fluid to web up Ultimate Shocker. But not good enough. "Who are you?" says Shocker. "Oh, come on. We've covered this already," as we see Spider-Man punching him up. "I told you. I'm the guy who stops people like you." As we see Shocker's struggling to get his words out and says, "I think you broke my ribs." "Sorry about that. I don't know my own strength." "It's my wife," says Ultimate Shocker. "She's dying. We don't have the money, and we can't pay for the treatment she needs. She needs this, so I have no other choice. What would you do if you were in my shoes?" And Spider-Man says, "Oh, I'm sorry. I can't imagine what that must be like. Wait, is that true?" And then Shocker's smiling with both of his blasters up. "What do you think?" Oh man, not again. And then we see Spider-Man get blasted off the roof once more. This time Ultimate Shocker decides to look over to see if Spider-Man fell or not. He looks like he's dead from this viewpoint, and then he has a smile on his face, and then blasts himself off with the money. But we also see that this ugly ass looking Green Goblin was watching the whole thing the whole time, as we see him in his ugly ass green outfit. Yes, people, I do not like this design. No. In the next page, Spider-Man makes it home again, and he's having another inner monologue. "So in the last few days, I've not only managed to get my butt kicked twice, but I accidentally revealed my secret identity to my kid. Worse than that, I scared her. Not good, Peter. Not good at all. Face it, you might not be cut out for this," as he sees a letter on his fridge door. "Dad, I drew a picture of a spider. I hope you like it. You're the best. Love, May." And then he says, "Or maybe I'll give it one more day." And that is how Ultimate Spider-Man Issue 2 concludes. So, that was Ultimate Spider-Man Issue number 2. And I've got to say, I really enjoyed this issue. We got to see some Ultimate Shocker, Ultimate Wilson Fisk, and a little bit of Captain Britain. We also got to see some world building with his family and how his life is starting to change ever since he gets the spider bite. And we also get to see that this Spider-Man is a lot more conscious and is a lot more level-headed, even though he did fall for the same trick twice. And that's some of the comedic aspects of Spider-Man that we're going to get in here. So yeah, highly recommend this comic. Make sure you go buy it and drop a like and subscribe if you are new to the channel and enjoyed the video. And I will see you in the next one. Take care.